By the early 1990s, the welfare system in America was overwhelmingly disliked by most of the public. Here is a demonstration of how welfare worked before it was reformed.
What was going on, district by district, Congress by Congress, state by state, to understand why it is that the Democrats were becoming...
Johnson! Friggin', why are you never working? I seriously swear to God. You know, I'm tired of this. Get out, your lazy ass is fired. Get out, you're done.
You know the definition of a baller. That's me.
Dude, I already got fired.
Yeah, bro.
Cool, man. I got you covered.
Thanks, Sammy.
That's what I do, man.
Watson, give me a tissue. Ah, good choice, Watson. Damn, I love being unemployed.
Under the Reaganism school of thought, welfare began to be seen as an abuse system, especially through Reagan's recurring story of a welfare queen in Chicago who lived well off of taxpayers' dollars. As a response, Congress passed the Family Support Act of 1988, including the job opportunities and basic skills training programs that create job training to get the poor into jobs and offer welfare. The welfare school of thought during Clinton's administration remained attuned to the ideas of Reaganism and welfare-to-work programs. Conditions between Reagan and Clinton's administrations, however, had changed. Welfare recipient numbers were skyrocketing quickly. According to the Congressional Quarterly Researcher, in July 1989, 3.75 million families, or nearly 11 million individuals, were collecting AFDC. And by December 1991, the number of AFDC recipients had risen to a record 4.7 million families, or nearly 13.5 million people. The public was also growing increasingly discontent as the result of media coverage of welfare recipients eating their tax dollars, and 39 states either cut or froze their welfare benefits in response. Public attention to welfare problems and the claim that welfare was running rampant with tax money ignited exigency for a federal reform to fix the root of the growing problem. Suddenly, the problem, policy, and politics of the streams theory have aligned. The problem, increasing tax dollars spent on welfare, the need for regulation or reform of welfare status quo policies, and the public outcry to get rid of the welfare queen.
House Resolution 4473, the Real Welfare Reform Act from the 103rd Congress in 1994, was the Republicans' first response to public demand for welfare reform. The Real Welfare Reform Act attempted to tackle two major welfare issues: work requirements for welfare recipients and child support enforcement. The bill declared that marriage is the foundation of a successful society and tried to deny welfare rights to illegitimate children born to a mother out of wedlock under 26 years old. The bill also attempted to put a time limit on food stamps and housing assistance for any individual and wanted to prevent individuals from applying for welfare in multiple states within a specific time period. House Resolution 4473 featured block grants to the states to distribute their own welfare and Medicaid funding. The House resolution ultimately failed to make it out of committee. The chairs of the Ways and Means, Oversight and Government Reform, in addition to 7 other committees, which were all Democratic, refused to report the bill because of the conservative provisions advocated for by Republicans Jim Talent and Rick Santorum. Ultimately, it was the ideological divide among the growing conservative movement and the Democratic committee chairs that prevented this bill from reaching the floor. With Newt Gingrich's campaign promise to create a contract with America, which called on citizens to trust their representatives in a definitively Burkean style, Republicans were able to bring in a new wave of conservatism, which advocated for many of the right-wing provisions in this bill.
In the next session, Republicans introduced H.R. 2491 and H.R. 4 to pass welfare on their own terms. Both included provisions from the previous failed bill, as well as trying to tackle Medicaid reform simultaneously. These bills passed the House, but Clinton worked in a co-partisan way with Senate Republicans to produce more moderate bills.
Hello there. Thank you for being here. You see now, those Republicans ping-ponged those bills and excluded Democrats out of the conference committee. It reverted more to the House provisions, so I vetoed both. I was proud, though, to finally see some initiative out of the Republican Party and give me H.R. 3734. Now that's a bill I could work with.
H.R. 3734 was a combination of many popular Republican provisions, without Medicaid reform included. After speculation, Clinton gained a concession from Republicans, which gave the states more leeway in the distribution of their funds. Ultimately, Clinton signed the bill, which turned welfare into temporary assistance for needy families, a series of block grants to be distributed by the states. H.R. 3734 was ultimately able to pass in the 104th instead of the 103rd Congress because of the ideological shift caused by the Republican Revolution. Explained in the pivotal politics model, the gridlock region in the Senate of the 104th Congress was significantly larger, as well as shifted towards the right. The veto point only shifted from negative .332 to negative .295, but the filibuster point went all the way from .017 to .249. Additionally, the median voter score went from negative .201 to .015, which made the Republican plan to change the status quo much more appealing. Similar trends can be seen in the House of the 104th Congress. Being that the welfare status quo was one of the last vestiges of the New Deal, and thus very far on the left, the shift in the gridlock region, along with Clinton's promise to end welfare, was ultimately enough to get the bill passed.
Hey, bro. I heard you lost your job.
Yeah, it sucks.
Man, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. I got you covered, though.
Really?
But first, you have to go through a workers training program, apply for a few jobs, and this is only for 24 months. You got that?
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks, Uncle Sam.
There you go. Hey, dude! I just got fired.
Yeah, bro. Oh, thanks, Sammy.
That's what I do.